So 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. This is the episode number 1 of our own RebelNews podcast, right? So brought to you by Zero Turnaround Developer Relations team, and I'm here today with Oleg. Wave your hand, Oleg.
Hello.
Say something as well, right? And we have Michael Rasmussen from the product team, who is going to be talking about JRebel 7 today, right?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Michael. So, Michael, you have been with Zero Turnaround for how many years now?
I just started my 4th year here, actually. So,
yeah. Is it 4 complete years, or actually it's the 5th year, right?
Well, it's 4 years and 2 weeks.
So you started the 5th year.
Oh yeah, technically, yeah.
Nice. And you have been like the acquisition, a part of the acquisition, right?
Yes.
Famous Pavilion team.
Yeah, I came here as part of the acquisitions here Turnaround did in 2012, 2013 of the Danish startup called JRebel, which had a similar technology to JRebel, and so yeah.
And now it's a part of JRebel core, right?
It is, yes. It's actually one of the new things that are really interesting about JRebel 7. So
nice one. So today we are recording the episode for those JRebel users who might be interested in what's actually new in JRebel 7. JRebel 7 has been released it's not the recent release, right? It has been released quite a while already in November.
Yeah, it was released in the middle of November, yes. And
yeah, but I'm still pretty sure that we still have users who are using JRebel 6, maybe JRebel 5 even. And it would be interesting. What could be the incentive for those users to migrate to JRebel 7? And therefore, we are going to make a brief overview of this 7th version, so to say. And the first question to you, Michael, already now is what are the greatest features of JRebel 7 since the last release?
Well, JRebel 7, like the main big thing that it introduces is the new JRebel agent, which technically was introduced in JRebel 6, but with JRebel 7, it's now the default reloading core. And what sets it apart from the legacy agent, as we call it, is that you can actually now change the hierarchy of a class. You can add interfaces if you like. You can change the super type if you like. And of course, and we have also changed the way that we do static initialization. So previously, we did have some issues sometimes that if we changed the static structure of a class, then the static initializer would run, and then we could run into situations where some state would be overwritten. And these are some of the things that we try to do our best to preserve now, so those kind of things don't arise anymore.
So it's more intelligent now.
You can say that, yes.
All right. So you said the new agent, and it was introduced in the previous version. So we have 2 agents shipping in one IDE plugin. When the user actually is downloading the plugin from the marketplace, he will get the 2 agents, whereas the new agent is configured by default.
Correct. Yes.
Correct. So if you go to settings in your IDE settings, and you will see like 2 radio buttons basically, which one of them is saying JRebel 7 agent, and the other one is saying, I guess it was JRebel legacy agent.
Yes.
Right.
Well, just a JRebel agent and legacy agent, but yes.
Legacy agent. Yes. So is there like any reason for me to switch to the legacy agent, back to the legacy agent?
Well, as part of the new JRebel agent, we are also using a native agent component. And if you are using someone like an architecture or an operating system that is outside the norm, then we might not have support for it in the native agent, since that has to be compatible with the operating system. So that could be one reason. Or another reason is if you're still stuck on Java 4 or Java 5, because the new JRebel agent only supports Java 6 and up.
I see. So we have the new way to configure the agent. Actually, previously it was just the Java agent. Now it's native agent. So if someone goes to the manual, he will not find this minus Java agent property to configure in the VM, but it will be minus agent path, right?
Correct. Yes. Like you can still configure the JRebel agent, the new agent with Java agent, but it requires an additional argument as well, though.
Exactly. All right. So this is pretty neat. We have like more intelligent agent. It's still shipping within the plugin. If you are upgraded, then you already have it like by default. Now, if you haven't upgraded yet, and you probably are considering, or maybe you haven't thought about it yet, let's actually see the demo. Let's see the demo, and Michael probably show us how it actually works.
Yeah, I can.
How much more intelligent it is.
Well, I can show you a quick little demo if I can, if screen share would work. Here, let me share my screen. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, we see your screen, and I will even set you as a presenter. So
Okay.
you should see your screen, and it should be available in the recording.
Okay, so here we have a small, this is a small Springboot application, just with a simple like demo controller and a small like get users, just to show that how it works. And I have a small, let me clear this, and then let me query it. And we see that I have a small demo application, and I can query it with the REST endpoint, and it gives me some nice JSON feedback. But when I created this, I actually figured out that, oh, I forgot that all my beans should actually have some common properties. And the way I'm usually doing that is that I implement a base properties class. So if I do this, adding a new interface to this class and then recompiling the class, you will see that if you have it called on the bottom here, you can see that JRebel reloads the class. And when I then access again, you can see suddenly the new properties that were added by this using the default methods on an interface are suddenly present in the output. So we successfully actually reloaded a class and extended it, well, implemented a new interface on it.
So we changed the hierarchy, basically.
Change the hierarchy. Like if I wanted to, I could even I could also change extents and say that, hey, it's now a, well, it's now an array list or it's something else, but then Lombok value wouldn't work. But still, like I can see. Let's see if we add a new request mapping. Not get user, just get. And then let's have and add a like simple inner class that we just return. Okay. Oh. If we do like this and then we recompile it, and then I change this to say instead of user new. Like then I get an empty, but if I then change this to, hey, I want it to be a hash set instead, I can write. And again, recompile. Okay, this is a bad example because the array list and hash set is actually the same output. So you can see they actually changed, but you can see that it was reloaded and that the whole remapping and the whole request figured it out that it's, hey, it's a hash set now instead of an array list. But we can quickly. have some duplications. Then I need
constructor.
Yes, I know. Create constructor list. Super strings. You should have a.
Oh, but that's a hash set.
Yeah, but it should still take a. Okay, never mind. Super. We just do it the ugly way. Well, if it works, it works. Why does it complain about this?
Because it's strings, not integers. Perhaps.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. If we recompile again, now we even add a new constructor to this. And if we recompile, we can see that it actually is a set. And if I then change this to an array list again, and recompile. Now it's a
You
list.
also mentioned something about static initializer.
Yeah, previously, like if I changed the static structure of a class, then adding a new static field would basically reinitialize everything. So if I had a static counter equals 1, and if I just give it a row to give it the type as well, and then every time, and then let's add a new. That's the count. And then return that. It's and increment it. It's really bad style and have static, but just for demo purpose, let's do that. So if I now access the count, it counts upwards, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. So we have a state. Like
we have state, but if I add a new static field and recompile the class, what would happen previously in the old version would that all the fields would actually be reinitialized, but here we see that state is preserved and then continues from where counter was previously. So that's another of the new features that we have here, that we try to preserve as much state as possible.
Okay, and the new field was given the initial value, right? It's not 0, it's 1 to 3.
Yeah, so if I change this to var and recompile, we will also see that var has been added and it was initialized to 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So yeah, so we have selective initialization of new fields and static fields, also new instance fields actually, and we preserve the state of all the existing fields.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another big feature for the JRebel agent.
Okay, so what we have now, we have a smarter core in JRebel 7 that is capable of reloading more different situations, more different changes. Are there any integration improvements for the frameworks as well?
Well, right now, the demo I was, I'll stop the demo here. If I can stop it. It doesn't work. Okay, I apparently can't stop it.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, let's just watch Oleg then. Why? Oh, there. Now it popped up. Stop screen sharing. The wonders of Google Hangout. Yeah, like as I was showing you, the demo I was showing was in Springboot, and just recently we actually added support for new Springboot 1.5 and 1.5.1, and in the next release we're having that's been coming out in 1 to 2 weeks, we'll be adding support for Springboot 1.5.2 as well.
Nice. I've heard that Springboot 2 is coming out soon. Are you excited yet?
Yes and no. um, yes, I'm like I think Spring Boot is very interesting, and like both Spring Boot 2 and Spring 5 is also some very interesting stuff coming up there. But from integration point of view, for us and our engineers here to actually integrate with it, I'm kind of dreading it a bit because I think it'll be a lot of hard work here. But it's also a good challenge, I think.
Oh, there is no magic. There is only hard work and sweat.
Yeah.
Right.
And layers of annotations.
No, the Spring 5 is not layers and layers annotation. It's all about reactive.
Indeed.
That's all.
You digress a little bit, but I have a question about the JRebel actually. So now you said that we have 2 agents bundled in JRebel 7, right?
Yes, correct.
And you mentioned that the name of one of them is kind of legacy or something.
Yeah.
Does that mean that moving forward, it will lack in development? So say the upcoming Java 9 release, which is allegedly to happen in July of this year, will that be equally supported in both branches of the agent, or is there some shift coming towards?
Yeah, no, from JRebel 7 and going forward, it's legacy agent is basically we don't actively develop on the reloading core of the legacy agent anymore, only on the JRebel agent core. Meaning, so when new JVM versions like Java 9 coming, presumably this summer, then it'll only be supported by the JRebel agent and not legacy agent.
So the superior approach will move forward with the rest of the tech, and if you're still using the legacy agent, well, it's time to move on.
Yeah, we've added, like, besides the points I just showed you with being able to change superclasses and preserving state when changing the static structures of the class, there are other features that we've only implemented in the JRebel agent and not in legacy agent because there's simply too much overhead in maintaining 2 agents at the same time. One of them is something as simple as enums, which are, well, they sound simple enough, but when you start adding or moving enums around, it becomes a rather complex process. And the new agent also has better support for this than the old agent does.
Mm-hmm. And I remember with legacy agent, we supported Java versions back to 1.4, right?
Yes.
What is the minimal Java versions currently for
as I mentioned? Yeah, as I mentioned previously, the new agent is Java 6 and forward. So the plan is to slowly, like when legacy agent eventually will get dropped completely, then JRebel will no longer support Java 4 and Java 5. But to those people that still use Java 4 or Java 5, yeah, you have my heartfelt sorry, but I hope you can upgrade to Java 6 at least by then, or Java 9 or 10, whenever that will be.
All right. So. Cool stuff. So I think we covered pretty much everything that should be interesting for the existing users of JRebel regarding JRebel 7. So, Oleg, do you have any more questions?
No, I think that covers it. It seems like now I just want to play with the Spring Boot integration, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting one. And one of the upcoming episodes is going to be specifically on Spring. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, Michael, for coming. I wish to have you more on our episodes next time. So,
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yes, we call you for as soon as we are preparing for the next episode, we call you again. And yeah, thank you for listening, everybody, and goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Ciao.
Yep.